Hey, good afternoon. This is Murshad, eXp Realty, and we want to kind of talk about how crazy the market is today because the market right now is insane. We put up properties on the market, and within 2, 3 days, they are under contract, and there's multiple offers that we get, multiple offers above asking. Reason being is there is a shortage of good homes on the market, so there is very, very low inventory. So if you are a seller and you are considering selling or you've been thinking about selling, this is by far the best time ever to sell. Now, obviously, if you need to sell, you're most likely going to need to buy. And the biggest question is, well, if I sell, where am I going to go? And I don't want to be homeless. And that's where we can have a more lengthier, detailed conversation as to how we can help you with that. But the main topic of today's discussion, today's video is if you are a buyer, I'm pretty sure you've lost out on a few properties, you've lost out on a few offers, and you're frustrated. And some buyers, what they are doing now is they are calling the listing agent directly and they're saying to the listing agent, hey, I want you to represent us. Please put in our offer. And the thought process behind that, the rationale is that, well, if I talk to the listing agent who has direct communication with the sellers, our chances of getting our offer accepted is going to be higher. And secondly, the listing agent is going to be taking the full commission. Therefore, they're going to be much more motivated to put this together as opposed to my offer coming in through my agent and the listing agent having to share that commission. So, when you look at it from a bird's eye view, it kind of makes sense, and I can see why people are doing that. But you have to be aware of the cons, the negatives that come with doing so, because there definitely are some negatives and disadvantages. First and foremost, you got to understand that if you call the listing agent is going to favor the seller. The listing agent has known the seller much longer than they've known you. The listing agent is going to favor the seller because they've already built rapport, they know one another, and they know what the seller wants to do. So the listing agent is always going to prefer, and they're going to have a bias towards the sellers. Why? Because they just have a stronger relationship. You're just some random person, some stranger that's called them, and now you're trying to have them represent you. And believe me, I've been in situations where I had to do dual agency, where I had to represent the buyers and the sellers. After I did that 2, 3 times, I made a promise to myself I would never do it again, because being fair at that point is so difficult. Like, who do you favor? Your sellers feel like you're not representing them correctly and adequately, and at the same time the buyers feel like you're not representing them. So moving forward from now on, whenever a buyer calls me, says, hey, I want to put an offer on one of your listings, I always redirect them and get them in touch with one of my team members, and that way it's fair for both the seller and the buyer. But long story short, if you're a buyer and you're thinking of putting in your offer directly through the listing agent, please understand that you will not be represented fairly, because it's very difficult. That's 99% of the time. 99% of the time, I'm leaving that 1% chance. So if you're an agent and you're watching this and you're like, no, I'll do it, good for you, man, you're the 1%. But 99% of the time, the listing agent is going to favor and prefer the seller, and you're going to get a lopsided deal. And the number one rule when it comes to negotiating is no deal is better than a bad deal. Do you really want to be under contract with lopsided terms and conditions that are to your disadvantage? And now you're stuck with, this terrible contract. Why? Just so you got your offer accepted. And keep in mind that there's more to a real estate transaction than just getting your offer accepted. There are other fine details, there are other terms and conditions, right? So you got to keep that in mind. And you may be saying, well, I'll just hire an attorney. Well, if you do that, what's going to happen is now your attorney is going to come in. They're going to introduce different clauses, different conditions, which were previously not stated. And then the deal is going to fall through all over again. So, what is my recommendation to you? My recommendation to you is, if you want to call the listing agent and put in your offer through the listing agent, then all the power to you. But please be aware that there are true disadvantages that come with that. Instead, I would recommend working with your buyer's agent, and ensuring that whoever you end up hiring as your buyer's agent, you interview them. You find out what sort of experience they have. You find out how exactly they're going to help you structure your offer so that it's a winning offer, right? And that's really on you. You have to interview your buyer's agent, right? And find out how what sort of track record they have, and how competent they are in getting your offer accepted. So if you can find a buyer's agent that is going to structure your offer and really help you put together an offer that's a winning offer, that's going to be your best bet. And obviously, if you don't have a buyer's agent and you're looking for someone like that, you are more than welcome to get in touch with us. And I will be more than glad to sit down with you or over a Zoom meeting, whatever the case, and break down exactly how we've helped so many of our buyers when their get their offers accepted. Just last year, we've closed successfully over 65 transactions, right? That means we were able to help so many buyers get their offers accepted in this crazy market. So, with that being said, this is Marshad, eXp Realty. Um, I look forward to talking to you guys again. If you need anything at all, feel free to message me, call me, or get in touch with me. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend.